We're in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, and it's always a pleasure to talk football with defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. You know, during the course of a season, there's going to be highs and lows, ups and downs. The key is, how do you handle it? You know, there's a skill to handling success and a skill to handling failure, and you have to be even keel. You can't get too high with the highs, too low with the lows, and that's what defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo provides for the Cincinnati Bengals, is that level of consistency as a defensive coordinator in the process of correcting mistakes that they made against Cleveland and mistakes that were made for the first 9 games of the season, the midway point. A lot of self-scouting going on, a lot of tendencies that might need to be broken. Those are the kind of things that Lou Anarumo is going through right now with his coaching staff. And then he gets to spend some time with his family during the bye week. Lou Anarumo getting it done. Welcome to In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. We're on our awesome studios, and our special guest is defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo with the Cincinnati Bengals. And Coach, bye week, does it come at a good time for you? Is this needed?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's perfect timing. We get to get a look back at everything that we've done and what teams are trying to do against us, and gives our guys a chance to rest up, get all those injuries healed up, and come back as good as new and fresh and ready for the second half of the season.
You know, from an injury standpoint, that hasn't been a significant problem, knock on wood, wherever it can here. But we're struck a little bit in the last game against the Cleveland Browns. Brandon Wilson goes down with the ACL, just a very, very tough injury, and special teams predominantly, but he's also part of your defensive efforts for sure. And Akeem Davis-Gaither, both phases, special teams and defense there with a left foot injury. And Marcus Bailey is on the COVID reserve list as we speak. I mean, that's a hit at the linebacker position in particular.
Yeah.
How significant is the injury to Akeem Davis-Gaither? Is it still too early to determine?
Yeah, I think we're still working through that today, actually. So we'll have a better picture by the end of the week. But you go back to Jordan Evans. Losing Jordan played a key role for us, and now Akeem potentially being done, and hopefully we'll get Marcus back. Obviously next week, and I'm assuming he'll be fine for Vegas. But Akeem played a significant role for us and had a key role, to get out there in pass situations and cover their running back or tight end or pressure, whatever it may be. And we're going to sorely miss him, and but we'll see how that goes. But it's tough when you take a hit of that many guys at one spot.
Yeah, I mean that's the trickle down, the ripple effect of that can be significant, obviously. Tell us a little bit about Clay Johnston, Coach. I know second-year player out of Baylor, initially 7th-round pick of the Rams. He comes to the Bengals from the Carolina Panthers, 6'1", 232 pounds, in that range. What type of football player have you got there with Johnston?
Yeah, we're going to see. We know what his makeup is. He's a try-hard, smart, tough as nails type guy. He's played some football this year. He's some meaningful snaps in games. So, we're happy to have him. Again, it just adds to the depth. Again, taking the hit that we took, we got to backfill that position. And, I think he's got a chance to come in and, help us on special teams right away and see where his role develops on defense.
And then, of course, Brandon, was safety. You've got a couple of other corners that you're evaluating that you picked up here recently.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Flowers, how's he coming along from what you've seen on the field? Now you just pick up Vernon Hargreaves last week and get to look at him just briefly at practice, but you're still in the evaluation process there. How much help can Trey Flowers and Vernon Hargreaves give you down the road, do you think?
Yeah, it's still yet to be determined. I think Trey's carved out a little bit of a niche for us, and coming in on third down and covering tight ends and, doing some things like that. Vernon's played, again, he started in this league for a long time. He was a first-round draft pick. He's played corner and nick. so he can play inside and out. So I think the more of those type of guys that you have, the more valuable they can be to us. And so we're happy to have them. And going back to Brandon Wilson for a second, Brandon is a great guy, and it's terrible for him and for us, and for his family. But I know he'll come back stronger than ever. I mean, he started in the Jacksonville game and made some really big plays in that game to help us win. So he's a valuable guy that we'll miss.
So at the safety position, do you have to do a little juggling there, or are you good at this point? Or are you still being evaluated? What the next step is?
That's what this week is for,
Right.
to kind of play it all out. And we've got some guys back there that have been around. And so I think that, we'll do our best there to plug in with the guys that we have.
So you get off to the 5-2 start, coach, and top 5 in a lot of significant categories. There's no question. Defensively, just rolling along, and then have the the little slide at 0-2 here in the last couple of football games. Can you give us a couple of things in your mind after you've looked at the tape, obviously from both of these games, the Jets game and the Browns game? Maybe a couple of things that you were doing well in the 7-game stretch that not so well in the 2-game stretch.
Yeah, I think going back to the Jet game and a little bit in versus the Browns the other day is, again, just continuing to be better tacklers. I think, that it always starts and ends with that.
Right.
I think that when you go back again to the Jet game, prior to that, we were getting offenses off, on first down. We were winning first down and creating some get back on track downs for them. So 2nd and 7+, we didn't have very many at all against the Jets. We had a few more on Sunday against the Browns, but we got to get back to creating negative yardage plays and winning first down, and that's going to help us across the board. And we can do. We're looking at everything this week. That's why the bye is great. Looking at what we do and what opponents are trying to do to us. So it's a great time for this. But our guys are resilient, and we're just looking forward to getting on that plane and going out to Vegas and come back with a win.
I hear that, Coach. And when you get in a little period like the defense has been through the last couple of games, human nature is oh man, I have to do more. I got to help my teammate here. I got to do this, do that. And you have to fight that. I mean, that's the first instinct, is to do more. And really, it's the worst thing you can do, right? I mean, it's just do your job, do what you're supposed to do. If everybody does that, everything's good, right?
Well, yeah, 100%. I've always told the guys, you don't want to go chase plays. If you go chase plays, you're going to give up more than you make. Yep. And so we got to do what you're asked to do, and then the rest will take care of itself. But yeah, once you start getting guys out of whack, and we're not having a ton of that, it just creeped up a little bit, but and it's all in a good way, where guys are like, hey, we want to just do everything we can do, coach, to win. And so we're working on all that stuff, and we had a really good work day yesterday, fixing some errors that we had earlier in the season, not just Browns and Jets, but any little thing that popped up. We kind of cleaned some of that stuff up yesterday, and we're going to continue this week working on all that, and then get ready for Vegas next week.
You made a great point. I had teammates that would freelance, no respect or regard for the scheme. All they were about themselves and their numbers and tackles and assists and stats, and that's not what I was referencing. It's just I think these guys have so much regard for each other. It's like, my teammate's in trouble, I got to go help. And that's that instinct that you got to fight, because if they'll take advantage of where you're leaving. I mean, that's the bottom line, right?
Yeah, that's 100% correct. Yeah, we don't have any of the other thing where somebody's just supposed to go left and they go right. There's none of that going on. It's just like you said, wanting to help their teammate out and do what's best for the team and the organization. So it's all good, and we get back to really, as I told the defense yesterday, I said, you go all the way back to I got the calendar here, August 14th, walking off the field at Tampa.
Yep.
And you want to win every game you play, but feeling good about ourselves all the way back in August. And, again, no excuses. We got to play better than we did the last 2 weeks, and everybody knows that, and we will.
Hear that, Coach. When you guys self scout, like you're talking about, you want to see what offenses are trying to do and how you can, make adjustments to what they're trying to do to take, put you in precarious situations or whatever.
Mhm.
I know in the past, like the offensive staff is basically during bye weeks break down their defense, almost
Mhm.
like I'm breaking it down for prepping for a game. Like I'm gonna play
Yeah.
against the Bengals offense against Bengals defense. We're gonna go through a prep week where I'm going to break you down and maybe try to uncover some things that maybe were tendencies or problematic, or whatever. And the other way around too, defense break down the Bengals offense. Do you guys do that kind of
Yeah.
thing?
Here's the great news about that is Zach and I are kind of that way all year.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
we have to a degree some of that going on now, more time and more extensive. But we're constantly doing that, and so it's a great point that you bring up. But we're not waiting for the bye week for that. We'll dive deeper into it this week of the self scout stuff, but
Right.
we're doing it weekly during the season.
So you're always trying to,
We
okay,
are.
is
Yeah,
there,
we are. Absolutely.
yeah,
He'll come in or I'll go into him and say, hey, look at this, and this, and he'll do the same for us on defense. So it's good.
that is good. I mean, man, tendencies, sometimes you don't even realize when tendencies are happening,
Yeah,
they can be broken or
that's
whatever.
right.
That's great though. So what do you think is the strength of the defensive football team, coach? You're halfway through the season. What do you think is strength or strengths that you have on the defensive side of football?
Yeah, I love I love what our front guys bring to us. I think that those guys have played steady and consistent. And again, no position is perfect, but those guys really set the tone for us. We're still in the top 10 in rushing defense, and you want to be in the top 5 and everything. And we got to continue that. Again, wasn't our best effort this past week, but a lot of elements, a lot of factors go into that. So I think we're, still playing well in the red zone. We're still in the top 10 in points allowed, which, again,
Yep.
You look at the full body of work, not just 1 week. So we got to build on that stuff. We got to get better. The explosive stuff is what has to stop immediately. You cannot give up explosive runs or passes and expect to win.
Right.
So that has to stop, and we need to continue to get better on third down. We're in the teens in that, I think 12th, 13th or something like that. We need to get better there, and just make sure that we're improving that part of it. And that's it.
You guys emphasize
17th, excuse me.
17. You guys emphasize as much as anybody I've seen the turnover stations. The things that you do to create takeaways, and 9 takeaways in the first 9 games, and you had 3 in that first half against the New York Jets. So in 8.5 games, 6 other takeaways. And like I said, you guys work at it more, as much or more than anybody.
Yeah.
The 9 takes are tied for 20th, and then 2 fumble recoveries tied for 27th, 7 interceptions tied for 12th. I know you're going to continue to work on it, and they do come in bunches. I think the good news is you guys are 5-4 with a -4 turnover ratio.
Yep.
I think that can flip in the second half, the turnover ratio, and that's going to help you win some football games.
No, I agree. And the ball's been on the ground. We're getting balls out. We just haven't recovered them.
Right. Right.
We had another one at Baltimore where we get the ball off of Andrews and it bounces right into his lap. We had another one the other day where we rip it out from Chubb, and the guard recovers it, and and it's not like our guys are just standing around watching. We're running over there. It's just the bounce of the ball hasn't gone our way from the turnover or forced fumble deal. So we'll continue to rip at it and rake at that ball and get it out, and then we got to do a better job continuing to get interceptions in the back end.
Right. One area that at the midpoint here, I think that's pretty significant is penalties. You're the least penalized team in the National Football League. The Bengals, 39 penalties. The only team less than 40. 39 penalties, 338 penalty yards. Both are best in the National Football League. And I think that you guys are playing with proper technique and not self-destructive defensively, because the defensive penalties are less than half of the team penalties. I mean, you guys are way down there in terms of being penalized. You're playing pretty smart football that way.
I think you got a bunch of guys that want to do it the right way, and they're playing with, as you mentioned, with really good technique and discipline. You know, Zach preaches that all the time, and you know that in the long run will help us as a team. Excuse me. And you know, I think that you know, we continue on that path, continue to and then get that turnover thing corrected. You know, that itself will help us win games.
No doubt, no doubt. I'm a big believer. You know, everybody. There's the phrase that a lot of people have heard, and I'm a big believer in it for defenses. You stop the run, you earn the right to rush the passer, and you're ninth in the National Football League, halfway into the season, stopping the run, and you generated 23 sacks, tied for sixth in the National Football League. Both pretty darn good.
Yes,
You're
sir.
allowing under 101 yards rushing a game. Are you happy with how things have gone for the most part there in terms of putting them in situations where you can involve some pressure?
Yeah, yeah. And again, it starts with the guys up front, right? And you know, nobody wanted to give up a 70-yard run the other day.
Right.
But you know, I think that you know, those guys getting penetration, those guys holding their gaps, allowing the linebackers to flow, and you know, it has to continue, and then you know, just eliminate, as I've mentioned a couple times already, just eliminate the explosive part of it, and you know, we'll be back in that top 10 in every category.
So, bye week, here it is. Players get to rest their bodies, recharge mentally. Coaches, the mental part of it is huge. Obviously, the grind is unbelievable. The job that you guys have chosen is just to me, it's unbelievable the amount of hours and the grind that you guys put in all week long, every week. What are your plans for the bye week, Coach?
Well, I'm going to finish up, you know, continuing the self-scout part, and you know, continuing to look at Vegas, and you know, and just kind of get away a couple days and just forget about it. I won't forget about it, but you know, try to, and go see my children and hang out with my family a little bit. Yeah, so that'll be fun. I think I don't know if the kids are looking forward to it, but I am. But no, it'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to that. And then, you know, on Sunday, just you know, just kind of really looking forward to just being a fan and just sitting there and watching games, and you know, obviously paying close attention to the Vegas game, but and then getting back, you know, Monday ready to go to work.
I guess, Coach, you know, it's the middle of a season. I know this probably be like, you know, I don't want to think about all this right now, but if you would give us an idea of the best defensive unit that you were part of in your coaching career, is there any unit that comes to mind, any year that comes to mind where it's like, boy, that was just a special group of guys and we really achieved? I mean, anything come to mind there over your coaching career?
I mean, there's been a few. I want to say that this one's going to be it this year here. I really believe that, you know, we'll rally, and I have so much faith in the guys that we have downstairs and in the room, and their makeup and what they're about and their talent level. So I want this to be the best one. You know, everybody goes through some adversity throughout a 17-game season, and you know, we're just looking forward to getting back to work and having a chance to get ourselves, you know, into the postseason tournament and beyond.
And I guess final question. Appreciate you carving time, because you are, even though it's bye week, I know you got a lot of work you got to get done. Players, give us. It's probably unfair. One player, like some of the great players that you've coached over the years that have made an impression on you, is like, boy, this guy, he's something else.
Wow. So I'd say, you know, the number one guy that jumps into my head always is Cam Wake. And, you know, there's only been 32, 33 players in NFL history to have over 100 sacks, and he's one of them. And just the way he went about his business and the way he approached the game. And we used to sit next to each other in the team meetings at Miami for 6 years. And he was a special human being and just a special player. Anytime, I just remember those victories we had against New England down there.
Yeah.
I could see Brady one time, reading his lips on the sideline, was out wake again, on the back, and so he was something. We had Ndamukong Suh down there, and great player he's been, and in the back end, I would say, Brent Grimes, just a phenomenal talent, athlete, and brought so many things to the team that way. But those are a few guys that stick out over the years.
Well, you got some talented guys you're working with this year, Coach, and like you said, we'll add those guys will be added to the list, as well as this defensive unit. Because you're right. I mean,
No question.
During the course of the season, there's going to be ups and going to be downs. It's a question of how you handle them, And I think this team's made of the right stuff. I really do, and I'm looking forward to. The thing is, even though 2 games skid, 5-4 seems like everybody's 5-4. Everybody's got like 5 or 6 wins.
Yeah.
All your goals are still right there ahead of you. I mean, there's nothing that's been taken off the table. And when you're in control of your own destiny, that's all you hope for, right?
Yeah, and we're 2-1 in the division, which is huge. And we get to, I think, 7 out of the 8 games that we have left are against AFC opponents. So
Yep.
I think I'm right on that. Other than San Fran later in the year, one week at a time, one game at a time, focused on that. We're all focused on, Vegas right now. And again, I tell the defense every week, it's 9 down and 1 to go. That's all we're focused on is just get better this upcoming week and go out there and beat the Raiders.
Well, you get Vegas in the books on the road, then 5 of your last 7 games are at home.
That's awesome.
You finally get paid back for the 3-game road trip with 3 home games in a row.
Yeah, and our fans, have been great this year, and it just, our guys will feed off the energy in the stadium, and we're so looking forward to getting back and getting that place rocking like it needs to be, and like you said, go get Vegas, and then we can be at home for a while. It's nice to not have to, get on the bus, get on the plane, and we're looking forward to all the challenges that are ahead.
Like Dorothy said in The Wizard of Oz, there's no place like home, right, Coach?
No doubt about that.
Appreciate your time.
Always, no problem. Thank you for having me.
And enjoy your family and enjoy the bye week, sir.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right.
You gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out firststarlogistics.com.